I will not accept if nominated, and will not serve if elected. With that short statement, General William T. Sherman cut off all discussion of his standing for election as U.S. President in 1884. America has a history of electing war heroes to that office, beginning with George Washington and including Sherman's boss, Ulysses S. Grant. Famous for his march across the South that helped end the Civil War, Sherman had no intention of following that path and was clear and unequivocal in his declaration. He had served his nation by helping end a war and wasn't interested in acquiring any more power or prestige, a habit we would like to see more of our political leaders develop. Of course, America isn't the first country to place war leaders in positions of power. In fact, the history of the world is dominated by that practice. Most famous and not so famous rulers came to power as military leaders, primarily because of the need to defend their people against attackers, though sometimes as conquerors. Quite often, they would lead their armies in the actual fighting. Most Roman rulers, including Julius Caesar, earned their power and popularity by risking their lives in battle. Caesar had survived so many battles, it probably came as a great shock to be murdered by a bunch of politicians in a routine meeting. The biblical book of Judges is filled with accounts of Israelites rising up to defeat and drive off oppressing nations and becoming the leader of Israel for the rest of his life. One glaring exception was Gideon. When it came to that reluctant warrior, visions of glory were not dancing in his head. He didn't even serve as a judge after defeating Midian. God had to persuade him to lead in that fight, and as soon as it was over, he rejected the nation's call to rule as a king with a Sherman-esque statement, I will not rule over you, neither will my son rule over you. Jehovah will rule over you. Judges 8, verse 23. You see, Gideon was never in it for his own power and glorification. Instead, his sole interest was in complying with and relying on God to remove the current threat to the nation. He agreed to defeat the Midianites, and once that job was completed, he went home to live his life and let everyone else live theirs under the guidance and rule of God. Perhaps we should call Sherman's statement a Gideon-esque statement. Well, thanks for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible. Please come back tomorrow. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.